Right. Hi, folks. If you don't know me, I'm Cheska Tennant. I'm one of the occasional preachers. It's not fair. How often do we hear that? The toddler that wants an ice cream before dinner and has a tantrum and says it's not fair. Maybe the 10-year-old girl who says, it's not fair, everyone else in my class has a smartphone. And a little bit for every one of us. I bet we've all had times when we've stamped our foot because there's something we really wanted and we couldn't have it. And we've said, it's not fair. And that is what the younger son felt, isn't it, from the story? It's not fair. I can't have exactly what I want when I want. My dad's holding me back. So I'll just take everything now. I'll say, Dad, let's pretend you're dead, and I'll take all your stuff, and I'll go and enjoy myself. And you know what's even more unfair? Is what happened to the dad. Because he didn't have loads of money in the bank. He was a farmer. So his wealth was in his land, in his sheep, in his crops. And he supported his family and his farm workers, and he built it up for years, and he was really proud of it. But he gave half to his older son and half to his younger son. And his younger son just sold his half and took the money and ran. So half of everything the dad had built up over the years was lost. His son was lost. Half the profits from the farm were lost, so the family were poorer. How unfair is that? We hate unfairness, don't we? We hate that sort of when people of power hurt other people. We hate it when the bullies pick on a child just because they're different in school. When the big bullies in the world pick on people like Russia invading Ukraine. And as for all the stuff that's been going on in our country recently, we get so angry, don't we, when we hear what happened when the powerful hurt the poor and then cover it up. We've had Hillsborough, we've had Grenfell, we've had Windrush, we've had the post office scandal, we've had the infected blood scandal. It makes us so angry, doesn't it? But do you know what's even more unfair in this story? Is that the younger son did not get what he deserved. Instead of punishment, he got a party. Instead of being sent to work in the fields, he got a second chance. How unfair is that? We like things to be fair, don't we? Just look at the newspaper headlines at the moment. Someone should go to jail for the post office scandal. Someone should go to jail for the infected blood scandal. Isn't it terrible that most of the people involved in the infected blood scandal have died so they can't get a punishment? We care, we want to see justice. But the point of this story that Jesus is telling us is that in fact our faith is incredibly unfair. Because it's about people not getting what they deserve and getting riches that they don't even begin to deserve. But of course, somebody has to pay. We know that God is totally loving. He's not a grumpy old man in the sky who's just waiting for us to fall down and do the wrong thing so that he can shout at us and discipline us. Jesus wants us to know that our Father in heaven is just like the dad in the story, that he's standing, waiting for his children to come home, his lost children to come back, no matter what they've done. But he's also the God of justice, so someone had to pay. So of course, we know what happened, don't we? That Jesus paid on the cross when he died. He paid for every wrong thing we'd done, so that we could come home and have our second chance. So what do you think happened in the story at the end? What do you think happened to the younger son? We kind of hope that he made the best of his second chance, don't we? We kind of hope that he learnt to be loving and generous like his dad and lived a good life. And that's the message for us, isn't it? That our God, our Father, was waiting for us. He's welcomed us home no matter what we've done wrong. And so we have a second chance. And so we can learn love and generosity from our Father. And he's given us all a job to do, hasn't he? And for some of us, that job might be seeing an injustice and putting it right and making this unfair world just a little bit unfair. And for some of us, it might be telling people how much our Father God loves us, that he's not the grumpy old man in the sky, but he is the God standing, waiting for his lost children to come home and give us a second chance.